Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a brand new week of Big Time Sports. My name is Joe Dunn, and here's your invitation to stay with us for the next 25 minutes as we talk high school football all over Stark County. And believe it or not, we are ready for week number 7 already in the 2025 season. It's flown by. We got a lot of football left to play, plus the state playoffs. We'll talk about all that every week right here on Big Time Sports. Congratulations to all the winners for week number 6, and as we get ready for week number 7, there's only 2 undefeated teams left in all of Stark County. That is Hoover and Lake. So congratulations to those 2 teams for a perfect 6-0 record heading into week number 7. Right now, let's check some of the big wins from this past week, and there were some great games as always all over Stark County. A game you watched right here on Big Time Sports. How about Perry? A little bit of a surprise over at Jackson. They knocked off the Polar Bears 21-19. How about Lake over Northwest 13-10? That was an outstanding game. McKinley against Green. Now the Bulldogs kept that game close as we thought they would before McKinley won it 21-3. Louisville over Central Catholic 21-0. And how about the Alliance Aviators? They are 5-1. They beat Salem 49-34. Our Big Time Sports TV game of the week will be for the lead in the Federal League. How about over at Hoover on Friday night? I'll be over there with Troy Richardson to bring you the game between Canton-McKinley. The Bulldogs taking on North Canton-Hoover. McKinley right now is 5-1. Hoover is 6-0. You can watch that game right here, 11 o'clock Friday night, and again at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, our Big Time Sports TV game of the week. In addition to that McKinley-Hoover game, some of the other big games around the county this weekend. How about Austintown Fitch at Perry? Fitch is 4-1, Perry 4-2. Should be an outstanding game. Jackson will try and go over to Lake and ruin the Blue Streaks' unblemished record. Lake is 3-3, Lake is 6-0. Orville at Northwest, that'll be a great game in the pack. Manchester at Fairless, Canton South at Triway, that'll be a tough one for Matt Dennison and company down at Triway. Carrollton will be at Alliance. Canfield 6-0 at Louisville. And talking about the Louisville Leopards, they're our featured team this week. As we said, they're having an outstanding year. Head coach Chris Kappas in a second year over at Louisville has the Leopards at 5-1. We're coming right back and talk Louisville football right after this timeout.
The all-new 2026 Chevy Equinox is here at Bear Chevrolet Toyota. Sleek, smart, and ready for summer fun. With advanced tech, bold styling, and room for the whole crew, it's the perfect ride for every adventure. Stop in today, take a spin, and see why everyone's talking about the new Equinox. Bear Chevrolet Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
You're only as good as your people. And what we've done here is that we've created a culture where people flourish.
We don't want it to be a transaction. We want it to be something where there's a consultative approach, a relationship that allows us to really, one, ensure our customer the right way, but then two, to let them understand the value of getting to work with us.
It's an extreme amount of satisfaction for this team that we have right now. We've developed a team that is solely based on relationships.
Rabbit Landscaping is Northeast Ohio's premier residential and commercial landscaping establishment in Jackson Township. They provide an ample amount of services including landscape design, hardscapes, deck and fence installations, outdoor lighting, lawn maintenance, leaf removal, and snow removal. Rabbit Landscaping aims to provide a quality, trustworthy landscaping service to your area. Call for a free quote at 330-936-7616.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. As we said, our featured team this week, the Louisville Leopards. Head coach Chris Kappas is here. And how about the Leopards? They're off to a 5-1 start thus far as we get ready for the second half of the season. And Coach, welcome back to the program. I think last year was your first year of coach. And I guess the initial question, is there much more of a comfort level now going into the second year? Feel more comfortable over there at Louisville?
Yeah, year 3 now.
Year 3, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. But it's gone fast. But yeah, I mean, these guys, they've been with us since they were sophomores. So just the level of comfort with our players and what's expected on a daily basis, and just, you know, holding up the standard that we expect from these guys every day. It's just it runs a lot more smoothly when you get
Is the program right where you want it? I'm sure there's some things you still want to implement, but you got to be happy with the 5-1 start where you are in year number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always want to play better every single week, but our culture is really getting established now, and these guys are really carrying the water every single day, and it's a continual building process, and we're never satisfied with what we got.
Give us a little update. You're 5-1. You got good wins over the Alliance and Northwest early in the season. What have you guys done well thus far, and what do you think you got to get better at the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, I think we've played a lot of 4-quarter games, so our kids have really dialed in for entire games, and we've played complete games. So, we've won games on offense, we've won games on defense, and we've won games on special teams. So, we just try to prepare the best we can in all 3 phases of the game every single week. And, I think just each week, one of those phases got to be prepared to step up to make the big play to turn the game over. Yeah,
checking on you guys early before the season, I noticed that offensive line you got is one of the biggest in the area. That's got to help the running game a little bit.
For sure. And we're very blessed to have those guys up front. They're doing a great job. A lot of those guys are playing both ways on the O&D line, and they're fun to get behind and get the power push there.
Tell us about that senior leadership, and then conversely, some of the young guys that are stepping up and really playing well for you.
For sure, and our seniors have done a great job. Like I said, a lot of these guys have been starting since they were sophomores, and a lot of that experience that they have is really paying off now, especially in the big games. So our seniors have been great. Paving the way, helping coach the young guys, and that's where our culture is really starting to take form, that when you have the older guys really caring about developing the young guys. And then, we got a good group of juniors. It's a smaller class for us, and some big-time players in there. But we're dependent on a lot of key sophomores to step in and play a lot of football on Friday nights, which, you never like to have that, but we have a very talented sophomore group that's doing a great job. Guys like Owen Wilson, who's running back, linebacker. Guys like Caden Cordes, same thing, running back, linebacker. Xavier Burdella, Joe Banks, O-lineman. So just a lot of young guys that are playing beyond their years right now, and just doing a great job for us and playing winning football.
Talk about those young guys before we meet the first player you brought, Coach. Number one, how much do you monitor that youth program? Are these guys you expected when they got here to help the team, or do you pick these guys out maybe in 7th, 8th grade and say, hey, I can tell they're going to be players?
Yeah, and like these guys played, the sophomores now played youth football all the way up until 8th grade. Yeah. It's all in-house football. Sure. So, it's always hard to tell when they're playing against each other. Louisville's a little different. We play kind of in-house football. So it was hard to tell, but you could tell when they got to us as freshmen that that was going to be a special class. So you identify those kids as early as you can and develop those kids. But it's a deep group. They love football. They have a real close-knit group there with the young kids, and they assimilated and really started pushing the older guys as soon as they got here.
Yeah. Sounds good. Tell us about the young guy to your left. I'm sure he's a big part of the program. Introduce him and tell us what he means to the team.
Absolutely. So this is quarterback Gabe Stouffer, senior captain. First-year starter quarterback, but 3-year starter, playing receiver and defensive back for us. Just kind of makes everything go for us on offense, and just been so efficient, taking care of the football this year, running the football when he has to, throwing the football, and then being a leader just on and off the field, as well as being a great defensive player for us. Just exactly what you want in high school football. Sure. Guy that's really embodied the culture and is really bringing the young guys along, and a guy that we can truly count on every single day to be the guy that carries the water.
There you go. Well, Gabe, welcome to the program. Tell us about turning into a quarterback. I'm assuming this isn't the first year you played quarterback. Maybe you were a quarterback in your younger days, and now you're a quarterback. Tell us about how it was leading up to this season and finally getting to call the plays at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. I've played quarterback my whole life, and I finally got to step up this year, but I wouldn't want it any other way. Learning from some good guys like Owen Burek and Tato Jasic. One of our quarterbacks that I learned from is actually a coach for us now, and it's been great. And I have a great receiving core, and the big men up front are doing a great job.
Sure. Talk about that receiving core. Since this is your first year as a starting quarterback, How did you establish that chemistry with the wide receivers? I'm sure that started back maybe in May and June, even before organized practice started. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, we went out, we threw a lot since March. Like as early as we could get on the field, we went out and we tried to go a few times a week and just get timing down, get our routes down, and just build that chemistry that you need on Friday nights, because you're not always gonna, the plays aren't always gonna turn out how you want them to, but you got to be able to make a play and be on the same page with your guys.
Talk about the communication between you and the receiving corps. Will they come back to you after a call and say, hey, I think I can beat this guy on a certain route? And do you talk about that in the huddle, or do you wait till you come off the field then?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we get to that sideline, we like to talk a lot about like what we see. We talk with our OC Coach Bierek and stuff like that. But if they really see something on the field, they will say something, and we'll get it figured out.
You're like a coach on the field. You can tell what's working. Either the passing game is working, the running game is working. When do you get a feel for that offense and what's clicking on a certain game?
It really just depends on the flow of the game. I mean, if there's something we see in the secondary, like we can beat a guy, we think one of our guys can beat another guy, we're going to give him a shot. Or maybe we're dominating up front and they're tired and we can move the ball, running the ball, then we might try that as well.
Obviously, you prepared a lot when you played prior to being a quarterback. Is there more preparation now as a quarterback coming into a Friday night as opposed to maybe last season or the season before?
Yeah, for sure. The big thing is film. You gotta watch a lot more like keys, like with the defensive backs. What's the defense doing? How they trigger on runs with play action, stuff like that. And it's good playing receivers, so you know like what they're feeling and what to see in the secondary.
Yeah, without giving away too many secrets, a lot of people out there have never played quarterback at any level. When you break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage, what are your keys? What are you looking for first to determine if that play is going to work? And do you have the luxury to call off that play if you think it won't work?
It depends on the play, but sometimes I do get the option to maybe change it a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's a run, maybe change the type of run, or if we see like a cover zero, so like there's no high safeties, we can change that to like a quick pass or something. But the first thing I look at is the free safety. The free safety will tell you what you want to do. He's high, you might see cover 3. You could see some cover 1 maybe, or there's too high. You might see a few different things, and obviously they're going to try to hold their shell and protect what they're doing. But he usually will tell you what you're doing.
Yeah, you know. Obviously, football is an emotional game, but I've often felt the quarterback's got to probably keep his composure more than any other guy on the field. How do you do that without losing it a little bit and keeping your composure and being a leader out there?
For sure, you gotta have the next play mentality. If you don't have that, if you get stuck up on something, you do something bad, you gotta come back. You gotta be there for your teammates first of all, because as a quarterback, you're a leader, and you gotta lead by example. And if you have your head down, people are gonna follow that. If you lead and you're good and you can get up and carry on with yourself, your teammates are gonna follow with that.
I talked to a lot of football fans during the week. Here we are going into week number 7 already, and how fast does it go for you? It goes fast for everybody because it seems you're doing the same thing every week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, get ready for a game on Friday. How quick is this season going for you thus far?
Oh, it's going so fast. And when you're growing up, everybody tells you how fast it's going to go, but until you get there, you don't realize. And you got to make the most of every moment, and that's what me as well as my teammates in my senior class are trying to do. And we're just trying to make the most of that and turn our program around officially.
Exactly. What's next for you after you leave Louisville? I'm sure college of some degree. What would you like to study, and what are we going to see you doing after finally education is over?
I'd like to study finance somewhere, but I do have the dream of playing football somewhere. So
great.
We're going to try to figure that out, just see what's the best fit, and go from there.
I'll tell you what, you're doing a great job thus far, and thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
I can tell, Coach, you got a good leader here. I mean, very composed, very articulate, and when you come in as a coach, you look for that type of quarterback that you can communicate with and be a good leader, and it seems like he epitomizes that.
For sure, and he is like all the trust in the world from our staff. Just a guy that I've gotten to coach personally as a safety for the last 2 years, and really grow a great relationship with him, and just how much trust we have in him to make sure that he's doing the right things on and out the field and leading the other guys, and that's why he was selected as a captain this year, and guys really look to him.
Great. Gabe, thanks for coming over. Coach, stay put. We're going to take a break, come back, because we have 2 more Louisville Leopards to talk to about the season, so don't go away. We're back right after this.
The all-new 2026 Chevy Equinox is here at Bear Chevrolet Toyota. Sleek, smart, and ready for summer fun. With advanced tech, bold styling, and room for the whole crew, it's the perfect ride for every adventure. Stop in today, take a spin, and see why everyone's talking about the new Equinox. Bear Chevrolet Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Certified by the American Lighting Association, Furbay's Light Shop is your go-to for all lighting needs, residential, commercial, or industrial. Our experts assist with every detail, from bulb size and fixture type to designing layouts. Visit us for hands-on displays showcasing various fixtures, or log in to furbay.com/lightshop. Let us help you visualize the perfect light for your space. Whether you need advice or want to explore lighting options, stop by or log in to Furbay's Light Shop today and see how we can brighten your project.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. If you just joined us, we are talking Louisville Leopards football tonight. Leopards off to a 5-1 start as we get ready for week number 7 already. Head coach Chris Kappas is here, brought a few of his players, so we're talking about what has happened and what will happen. And Coach, what will happen Friday night is, I think, one of the best games in Northeastern Ohio. You've got undefeated Canfield coming in. What about the Cardinals?
We're really excited about the opportunity to play another undefeated team coming for our second home game here, and you know, a lot of respect to them. They're playing really good football right now. They're flying around, playing good offense, defense, special teams, and I think, you know, it's going to be a great matchup and a great challenge for our guys.
Seems like anytime you play a team from over there in Mahoning County, Youngstown area, you know they're going to be tough. There's tough kids over there in Mahoning County.
Absolutely. You know, anytime you play Canfield, you know you're going to get their best, and they're going to be tough kids, and it's going to be a physical football game, and you know, they want to run the football, we want to run the football, so it's going to come down to who can stop the run and create some big plays.
Better get there early. That's going to be a quick game, it sounds like. Not a lot of passing. Get there and pack a lunch, right?
Yeah. You know, you like the quick games if you come out on top of that. But
the Ohio High School Athletic Association has gone from 16 teams down to 12, and as an independent, is that more important now to kind of monitor where you're at? I mean, a lot of coaches I talk each week say, I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to win a conference title. What's your thoughts on that as you get into week 7 now?
Yeah, we're not in a conference, so, you know, we can't win a conference title, but I voted for the teams to drop to 12. I just think it's you know, it just puts a better pool out there and rewards the teams that are doing the best to give them a week off, and it makes it harder, and that's what we want to compete. We want our guys to have a challenge every single week, and you know, we have a very challenging schedule, and these guys are up to that.
With that thought in mind, Coach, when you do you schedule with strength trying to get into that top 12? I know it's tough to schedule as an independent, but you got to schedule enough points to get into that 12.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you want to have a balance where maybe you can schedule a few teams that you know, you have a good chance to win those games, but you got to get tested, and you got to, you know, because if you're not ready to get in the playoffs, you're going to get and you schedule just a bunch of games you're going to win. I mean, you're going to get bounced out pretty quick. So, you know, I think we have a good balance this year in terms of our schedule. We've played some really good teams. We beat some really good teams, and you know, we lost a game to a really good Hoover team that's give us great experience to prepare for the playoffs.
I got to ask you about that schedule with Cincinnati LaSalle, because I looked at that and I'm saying, wow, that's a heck of a game. Is that going to be, you got to go down there next year? Is that a one-year deal?
Just a one-year deal. They were looking for a game, and they were willing to travel, so we got them to come up here. It's a great game, and it's going to be a great gauge to see, you know, playing a state perennial power that, you know, we're going to see where we're at, and, you know, see where we need to keep building our program to.
Sure. Introduce this young guy to your left. I'm sure he's a key member of your team also.
Yeah, so this is Quinn Burek, senior wide receiver and corner, starting both ways. He's been starting at receiver for us since he was a sophomore. Captain, selected as a captain. Just a great leader, great guy that just, you know, has put the work in to get himself to the position where he's reached his fullest potential of where he's at right now in his life and in his football career. Just, you know, embodies what our culture is, our what we call our code blue. He's committed, he's relentless, he's unselfish, he's mentally, physically, and spiritually tough. He's a man of integrity, and he's very loyal to his teammates and his coaches and his program. So, you know, excited to bring him here, and he's having a great season so far.
Well, welcome to the program. I know you're looking forward to that game Friday night against Canfield. How excited do you get? Obviously, you're going to be pumped for Friday night. You got an undefeated team coming in, but how do you mentally prepare on Friday nights? You come to school on Friday morning. Obviously, you got to concentrate in the books. When does that game on Friday night finally kick in on game day?
It starts the week before on Saturday, the next day after our last week. But you know, you try to stay focused throughout the day, but you have that adrenaline pumping through your body, and you're ready to go when that time comes.
You got a little break after school, usually on Friday if it's a home game. What do you usually do for that hour, 2 hours when you leave school before you got to come back and get the uniform on? Is there a certain procedure you go through, music you listen to, special food you eat, or what's the deal?
You know, we always get Subway every game.
Subway's
so
where it's at, okay.
Yeah, Subway's where it's at, but I like to go home, you know, isolate myself, listen to my music. I won't say that on here, but you know,
Is it the same type of music that Coach Kappas would listen to, you think?
I do not believe
Probably
so.
Not.
No.
Probably
No.
not. That's okay, though. What about the run game on Friday night? I know as a wide receiver, you want that football as much as you can get, but you know, the run game, you got to go out and knock somebody down. You got to put somebody in their can as far as the run game's concerned. So how do you prepare for that, knowing you're going to run the football and it's going to be key to block?
You know, we prepare every week running the ball. We have our game plan in, so we practice that every week. And you know, at receiver, we're the block that sets it out for the explosive play. So I know that in the back of my mind that if I make this block, then it's probably a touchdown.
Yeah, we asked Gabe about what his plans are after high school. I'll throw the same question out to you. What are your plans after leaving Louisville?
I'd like to go to college and continue my football career, but on the academic side, I'm not exactly sure what I would like to go for.
You're not going to go into finance like Gabe, though. It's maybe another area?
Yeah, probably another area. I'm not as smart as him.
I'll tell you what, you did a great job tonight. Best of luck on Friday night against Canfield.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach, again, stay put. We've got one more Leopard that can't wait to get up here and talk some football. We're right back after this time.
The all-new 2026 Chevy Equinox is here at Bear Chevrolet Toyota. Sleek, smart, and ready for summer fun. With advanced tech, bold styling, and room for the whole crew, it's the perfect ride for every adventure. Stop in today, take a spin, and see why everyone's talking about the new Equinox. Bear Chevrolet Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
With Bell Store's Bell Buddy Rewards, you save in-store and at the pump. New members receive 20 cents off per gallon as a welcome gift. Everyday savings are made easy. Instantly enjoy 3 cents off per gallon just for being a member. When you spend $25 in store, unlock an extra 5 cents off per gallon on your next fill-up. Buy 5, get 1 free. Track your drinks and earn free coffee, fountain, icy, and espresso with drink clubs. So start saving today. Download the Bell Stores app and sign up for Bell Buddy Rewards.
It's always that personal touch that they know you.
Primetime has people that can help you through every step of the way, and when you're my age, you need that extra help.
You don't want a lot of questioning when you're already dealing with a medical issue. Primetime is trying to help us get down the road as long as we can.
And if you're not in the right situation, a senior can lose everything. I feel with Primetime we picked the best program.
Welcome back to Big Time Sports as we continue our conversation with Louisville head coach Chris Kappas. And Coach, I'll ask you kind of the same question, the same thing week after week. It's almost like Groundhog Day. You wake up and do the same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Does it go as quick for you as it does for the players?
Oh, it goes so fast, and you get in such a routine, and then just next thing you know, it's Friday morning, and you're already kind of trying to get organized for Saturday and the next week, and making sure the game plan and all the kids are straight on their assignments. So it's fun. That's one of the things I enjoy most is just the process, just trusting that week after week after week.
Exactly. Can't wait to talk to this young guy. Why don't you introduce him?
So this is Colton Norris, senior captain, starting both ways for us, a wide receiver, corner, just a guy that embodies our culture Just he didn't get to play much as a sophomore or junior. Had some injuries and stuff like that, but has really developed and had one of the best off seasons in the biggest transformation from his sophomore year to his senior year. Just has earned the trust, respect, belief, and love of his teammates and his coaches. And it's fun to see how far he's come and how big of an impact he's having as a senior, and just doing such a great job. Welcome to the program. That name is familiar. You're a basketball player also, right? Play a little basketball. I remember from covering some of the Louisville games through the last couple of years. But let's talk a little football. You got to really have some perseverance to stay with it. This is your first year as a football starter. How tough was it to stay with the program, building, and finally here you are, a senior and a key member of this football team?
Yeah, I've always trusted in my coaches and my teammates to always believe in me, but I've been battling injuries too throughout my career, and I just kept my head down and just kept working through it all.
Coach mentioned how hard you worked and what a great off season you had. After last year as a junior, did you make up your mind, I'm going to work harder and harder now because I know I'm going to have my shot this year?
Yeah, I definitely felt that. I was going into it thinking this is my last year, so just got to give it all I got while I can, because you don't get these times back.
Seems like you've been a busy man over at Louisville doing a lot of different things. How much are you going to miss the day-to-day high school scene, participating in a lot of different things? How much are you going to miss that?
I'm going to miss it a lot. I love going to school every day, seeing all my friends when I can. It's just awesome. Yeah. Tell us about Friday night. What will be a typical Friday for you?
Go home, listen to some music, or tell us about your routine after school on Friday.
I normally go to the gas station and get a electrolyte drink or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not really a music guy. I normally just like to be silent and just focus on what's going on in the game.
Yeah. Who are some of the players you looked up to coming up through maybe middle school and their first 2 years in the program? Were there some seniors you looked up to and say, someday I want to be where they're at? They're good leaders.
Yeah, I looked up to Zach Seaman. He's one of our players' older brothers. He was a really good receiver for us back when I was in middle school, and I just thought he was a great player.
Tell us about working the academic side of being a student and then having time for football, because you go to practice, you got to hit the books, you got to get something to eat, you got to get to bed and get some rest. Tell us how you get all that in with time management during the week.
Yeah, that's always the first priority for student athletes, and you always have to get your homework done right after practice. Get your homework done, do your night routine, get to bed. You got to wake up, get your sleep, wake up in the morning and do it all over again.
Talk about that transition now from football to a different sport. That's, a lot of people don't understand it's a whole different muscle system you use, and you got to get acclimated then. How has that been for you going from football to other sports?
It's definitely it's a different type of conditioning. It's I play basketball. It's a lot more running. We get breaks in between plays during football, so you have to it takes a lot of getting used to.
Yeah. Well, let the fans know what you're going to be doing after Louisville. What are your plans for college and maybe your career?
I was planning on going to college, maybe studying sports management, maybe. I'm not really sure yet, but that's probably.
Well, you got a lot of football and a lot of basketball and a lot of sports left, so best of luck and congratulations on a great career over there.
Thank you.
Coach, in 30 seconds, he's the type of guy that he's a program guy, and finally he's getting a shot.
Yeah, and he embodies what we want our seniors to become, right? Go from here to here, trusting the process, trusting the weight program, being a great student athlete. He's a great leader in our school. So he's the example that we want to set for our young guys, and just a great overall person, and he's earned everything he's got, and he's got a lot of success ready to go.
There you go. Coach, thanks for coming over. Best of luck against Canfield on Friday night. Next week, Canton McKinley will be here. Have a great week, everybody.